for Mike Chuck, episode 4. We have a couple of guests this week. We're going to recap last weekend. Pretty busy weekend. And we will, Cheesehead happened, Millard West happened, Manstedt happened, a bunch of stuff happened. So we will bring on a guest, 2 guests tonight. And I'm excited about the first one. I don't know about you.
Because it's always fun when he's around.
Yeah. Talk about like engaging personality. Seriously, like he is like the dude, not only as a wrestler, but like just the dude, right? Like
he's just a fun kid to be around.
Yeah. Backflips and all that, I think. So anyway, let's talk to the champ. And we're talking world champ, Millard South, Joel Adams. Joel, thanks for joining us this week.
Absolutely. No problem. It's a pleasure to be here.
I like that Michigan shirt.
Go blue, baby. Right here.
Yeah. So let's talk about Cheesehead. We have you on for that reason. Talk about Cheesehead, how that went. Pretty tough, obviously tough tournament, tough event. And as a team, you guys really, really did well. Got second, I believe, as a team. And you won it. So, it was a good weekend for you.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for me. Honestly, it was a great weekend for the team too, because that's a really stacked tournament. And, we have a lot of guys that are ranked super high in the state, but they're not ranked in the country yet, not even in the top 20, but we have a handful of number 1s, number 2, and number 3s, right, in the state. And so, for them to go out and produce super, super high level results, especially at a really, really tough high school tournament like that, to help us, take second place. I think that speaks volumes about, how underrated some of the kids on our team are. I could think of a few. Miles Anderson is crazy underrated. Kieran Minks underrated. Logan Glenn's underrated. Isaac Ekdahl, Henry Riley, JoJo, right? A bunch of guys. Caden Nolan had an outstanding weekend, right? He lost to he's actually on the world team with me. He lost to my friend Cole Lindemeyer, that went to Rome with me. He's ranked top 10 in the country, I think, or maybe 12th or something. Definitely top 15. He's ranked in the country though. He's super good athlete. And Caden had a close match with him the entire time. I think the final score was like 9-6. It's a 3-point match, right? And so Caden Nolan had himself a field day. But no, we produced a lot of good results, I'd say, as a team. And to kind of dive in a little bit about my individual performance, I think I wrestled good. I want to say it was the semis. No, it was the quarters. In the quarters, on the second day in the quarterfinals, I wrestled this kid who was like above 6 foot. He was the tallest 145 I've ever scrapped with. And he took me down twice, like just back to back, boom, boom, just clipped me. So he took me down and I got a reversal. So it's 2-2, and then he got out and he took me down again. He clipped me with the low single twice. And I was like, oh my goodness, who is this kid? Right. And so I was down 5-3. I think halfway through the second period, I was down 5-3, and I eventually get another reversal into a Turk, and I was able to pin him. But that match had my heart racing a little bit, right? I was like, I had no idea who this kid was, and that just goes to show, just how much quality there is in the sport of wrestling. Even if you're not ranked the top 20, but there's a lot of sleepers out there, I should say, right? Kid that I didn't even know was beating me, and that I had to kind of pull out some magician stuff, right, to eventually get the pin. But no, he was really good. And obviously my finals match, I won 3-1 against the number one kid in Wisconsin, Wyatt Duchateau. I hope I didn't botch his last name. I think it's Duchateau. But yeah, I had a 3-1 match with him. Kind of in the hand fight, I realized that he wasn't going to be a super offensive wrestler. He was going to try and, wait for me to come to him. So I just kind of did that right back at him, right? He did a really good job of keeping the match close. So, in my head, I was like, if I get one takedown, he's not going to be able to come back from it. And so, I eventually had to work for it because he had really good defense, but I eventually got a takedown in the third period. So, but overall, great weekend for the Patriots, 100%.
So, Joel, you've done just about everything there is to do. You've won a world title. You've got all these goals that are super attainable. How pumped do you still get for the Metro tournament? Because I know that's a big tournament that's coming up this weekend, and I always got super excited for it no matter what, but I never won anything cool.
I guess I'm in the grand scheme of things, I'm not really, pumped up at all. It's just another normal tournament. But I wasn't able to wrestle there last year because I injured my hip at Cheesehead last year. So, and it's always a fun tournament, right? And another reason why I am, I guess, a little excited to, wrestle at Metros because, the Millard South, we don't do a lot of in-state stuff. We don't wrestle a lot of in-state competition, right? We like to go out and challenge ourselves, compete on the national level because that's, we want to get noticed, right? But, sometimes taking a step back, staying in our backyard, and just, not even having to travel that far too. That's always nice, right? Not having to travel super, super far. And just, competing, see how we rank, see how we put up against a state. I think a lot of our kids have an important statement to make this weekend. I think, locally, Metro's a super tough tournament. I would compare Metros to like Big Tens for the NCAAs. Metros for state is like the Big Tens of NCAAs, if that makes sense.
That's a pretty fair comparison.
Yeah, right. That's kind of the comparison I would make. And so, a lot of kids have people to prove wrong and people to prove right. Either climb the rankings in the state or hold the rankings at number one, right? And I think we're gonna have a field day this weekend. I'm also a little excited to check out Buena Vista, right? New OPS school. First time I heard about it, I was like, is that like some kind of college I've never heard of? But no, I'm excited to be there. I know I'll definitely recognize and know a lot of people there too, just people that I've known throughout the years. So it'll be good to catch up. Overall, I'm pretty excited, but I'm not treating it like the World Finals, right?
Yeah. Is you kind of touched on it there with the question I was going to ask about just the Metros and how tough it is, but let's not to look too far ahead. But we just record these once a week, so then you go into what experts in state, if you want to call it, which would, I guess Chuck and I have talked about it, and Cody and people we talked to on the wrestling scene have talked about Lincoln East and how they're the biggest threat in A for you guys for a state title this year, and you guys get them in a duel on Tuesday.
Yeah.
What do you even know about them at all, or anything? Or just kind of taking it one thing at a time?
As a team, I think we're taking it one thing at a time. Right. But I guess looking into next week, they're stacked for sure. They have a lot of competitive kids, which can create some toss-up matches. But I think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win the duel. I'm saying at over 10 points. That's my prediction. Over 10 points. A lot of individual matchups will be pretty good though. I'll definitely Logan Glenn and Cole Toline. That'll be a super nice match. Is Gabe Turman 26?
32.
Oh, so I was gonna say if he was wrestling Miles, that'd be a good match. I think Weston Sherlock bumped up to 52, so I don't think I'll wrestle him. I'd like to put my hands on him, so if he cuts down to 45, I think that'll be a good match. Great kid, by the way. But no, I think he's up at 52, so him and Josiah Abaruma will be a great match too. JoJo's a scrapper. I think he's
kind of
underrated.
another kid that's flown under the radar too.
That 100%. He's incredibly underrated in the state of Nebraska, and for the most part, it's just because he hasn't done a whole lot to get himself noticed. But I think he's coming different for Metro and State for sure. I think he'll make a statement. So him and potentially Weston Sherlock will be a good match. Obviously Logan Glenn and Cole Tullian already said that. What would some other matches be?
It'll still be a pretty tough one too.
Yeah, Kieran Mink and Braden Rakes, I think. Right, that'll be a good one. Trying to think. 160. Who's Lincoln East 160?
I would have to look it up off the top.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I think Henry Riley will have a good match.
Speaking of Henry Riley, I mean, are you gonna talk about how he beat you up a little bit there? And
you know,
he's
this
got
is
a
what I
little bit of
told him.
bragging rights right now.
So this is a funny story. We're always competing against each other, by the way. For example, UFC, the game, right, on PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I go to his house almost every single day after wrestling practice, and we play UFC until we get tired of it, sick and tired of it. I actually played him today, and he beat me in a best out of 3. We played one best out of 3 series, and he beat me. So he beat me 2 matches to 1 today. But yesterday, I put up double digits on him. He was 4-10 against me yesterday. I beat him 10 matches to 4. I don't mean to brag, but I hope Henry or somebody that knows Henry watches this. Henry's my son in UFC. I'm announcing it there. But anyways, yeah, I got a nice little shiner. What's that?
I say he beat you up with the eye though.
Yeah, he did. I got a nice little shiner right here. I got a nice cut. Straight down, right like that. I got it glued in some steri strips, but they kind of wore off during practice today, so I might have to put on some new ones, right? But I actually, gave him a cut last summer, like right before Fargo. I gave him a cut in a similar spot in his eyebrow, and I was the one who glued it. This is a funny story. You gotta listen to this. This is a funny story. I glued his eye. I glued his skin, right? And I tried to rub it in with my finger a little bit, and then his skin stuck to my finger, so I pulled it off. Oh. And then I used a Q-tip. I was so stupid. But I used a Q-tip, and I started rubbing the super glue in his eyebrow. And then I tried to pull a Q-tip away, and it wouldn't budge. And I was like, okay.
Go see the trainer, bro.
So I think it's safe to say you're not going to be a doctor.
Not one of those kind of doctors. I kind of want to be I'm leaning towards a chiropractor route, but no, if you give me some surgical utensils, that patient's not making it. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I got the cut during practice, and I told Henry, I was like, Henry, you want to tape this up? You want to glue it up a little bit? But he's a nice kid. He was like no, I don't want to. But back to the question, back to the statement that you made about how he beat me up. I made fun of him for it. I said, the only way you can beat me is to cheat. I said, you have to cheat to win. And so, I was giving him a hard time, but it's all good, right? I was scrapping today. I'll be competing at Mitchell's this weekend. So it's really nothing. No big deal.
All right, man. Good to see you. We'll see you this weekend. I'll be there. I don't know if Soft Chuck will, but I know
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope I see you guys.
No, we'll be there. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it, champ. And we'll see you on Saturday.
Have a good one, brother.
Guys. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. See ya.
Yeah. All right, that was Joel Adams. He's probably one of my favorite people.
His attitude's contagious.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So, just the storytelling and the energy you get from him, just watching him, and watching him wrestle is awesome too. So he's,
it's like watching poetry.
Yeah, he's so good. All right, let's bring in our expert guest, the person that this show was named after, I believe, is going to make an appearance. So let's bring in our friend Cody Manquist. Cody,
what's up? Look who I got.
Look at little Mike Chuck over there.
Look at little Mike Chuck.
Yeah.
Little Stetson Bennett.
Yeah. Schuschner hooking him up with the Brian little onesie.
Yeah. I got an Omaha Brian shirt too. I don't have a Millard South one, and no one else.
I know. I'm just adding to the collection. Yeah, he's had a tough week. He had 6 touchdowns Monday night. Kind of embarrassed TCU. So he's been sleeping well though. Got himself a ring.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice. Okay,
he's kind of waving right now.
Yeah,
but he's gonna go to bed now. But he just had to make an appearance.
All right.
Hi.
No, we're good. It's past his bedtime.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, hand me off.
Get out of here. I don't want to see that guy with the beard with the hair, not me, the other one.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Well, not much. We just talked to Joel Adams. What an awesome kid that is.
Yeah, he's a stud. He just moved up from number 4 to number 2 in the national rankings too.
Well,
I mean, pretty well deserved.
He should be number 1. I don't know who number 1 is, but he's number 1 in my heart.
Oh yeah. So we actually got 4 kids from Nebraska ranked nationally right now.
Who's that?
Cade Ziola.
Oh yeah,
he's top 10.
We talked to him earlier this year.
Yeah, Tyson Terry, another one you talked to. He's up to number 12. And the 4th one is Kale.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and he's like number 8.
Who we still need to get on.
Yeah. We got time. All right, so let's kind of recap the weekend a little bit. I mean, Manstedt was obviously.
Manstedt was awesome. I was at Millard West Friday, Manstedt Saturday. Great weekend of wrestling. Yeah. There's some dudes that don't get enough attention that are west of Lincoln. Mm-hmm. And, David City, they have an impressive team. Valentine, I was talking to Coach Allison. This is only their second competition all year because they've been snowed out all year. So this was only their second competition. He's awesome, man. He's a talker too, So me and him get along real well.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a really good dude. Just happy to finally be able to compete. His guys, there was still a little rust, but they competed well at Manstedt. They got a top 5 finish. Lincoln East kind of ran away with it, but Columbus got runner up. I think Valentine was 3rd, David City 4th. But yeah, it was impressive meet, man. There's some great talent in the state.
It's if you do well at it, you deserve it. You don't play there.
Like you guys were talking to Joel about like how Metros is a mini state. You got to see Manstedt. Like it is tough. And then Friday night was. I mean, you were there for a little bit, Mike. It was 120 was unreal.
Yeah.
Everybody beat everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So, finally DJ gets to throw his hat in the ring this weekend, and sounds like he's back to 100%. I'm curious on Preston. He did not wrestle tonight in the Gretna Lincoln Southwest Creighton prep try. So I don't know what's going on there.
It could be an instance where, if he's cutting a lot of weight, they didn't want him to make that many times in 1 week,
Yeah, especially because they got to make it Friday and Saturday. So.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a great weekend. I know that Metros and Heartland Athletic Conference are going to get a lot of the talk this week, but Schuyler is freaking nuts.
Always. It's one of the toughest tournaments every year.
Bennington, Scottsbluff, Shelby Rising City, who has 2 amazing freshmen.
Does Valentine still go there?
No, Valentine will not be there. But Aquinas will be there. Pierce will be there. Yeah, there's some talent that's going to be in Schuyler this weekend. And then Cross County, Osceola, they got it for like the Class C and D schools. They got a big tournament this weekend. So outside of the Metro and HAC, those are 2 of the other tournaments I'll be kind of keeping an eye on.
That so that could be a nice little preview of Class B and look into February a little bit.
Yeah, and I think Bennington might, they might be a little ticked off from the Bennington duels losing that to Scott. So
that's what I mean.
I'm not sure on how the rule works, so I'm not sure if Scott will be at full strength because Ziola, Drew Cooper, and Cole, I think it was Cole Welty, they were all at Doc B this past weekend. So they do have to sit per NSA rules. I just don't know with how long they have to sit. Chuck, do you know that rule? If you go, I know Grady Grice, he had to do it when he went out to Ohio.
I thought it was one competition. So
okay, and they got
maybe if they had a duel this week, they
dueled Gretna last night, and then they got River Cities tomorrow night.
I'm pretty sure it's just one competition, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I just didn't know since it's a 2-day tournament.
Yeah.
Or if they have 2 already this week, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
And we all want to see the good wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of talent out there.
How about freaking Drew Cooper, man?
Oh, he is rolling right now. That dude cannot. He, All-American out at Doc B, which that's one of the top tournaments in the country. And,
Son of Bradley Cooper, not the actor.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And he'll have Britannia Saturday. If he's able to go, that's 1-2 at B.
Oh man, that's.
And Cooper,
how am I supposed to be in all these places at once?
Yeah, I know. And Cooper just beat Turman at Bennington. So yeah, he's on a roll right now. He's on a hot streak.
Hey Mike, you know who's probably going to be at the Central Gretna duel?
Who?
Well, I know a Gretna fan that's on the show right now.
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That'll be fun. I mean,
we can talk about that. I mean, so for those of you or people that have watched our show and paid attention, I mean, every time I was at Millard West, and people were like, "So when are you wrestling Chuck?" Like, I had 3 people ask me, and I was like, "Well, I think we're supposed to do it at Metro. It's fine. I don't care. If it's in the parking lot right now, I would do it. I don't have a neck thing, nothing like that.
That's a little sore still, but I could go.
Anytime, anywhere, any place. That's what I said. So we actually have an official date and time where this is going to happen. It's going to happen on. I'll be the away team. That's fine. I'll be the away team. So we're
at the gym.
What'd you say?
I said you're going to get booed out of the gym.
Nah. So this will be at Omaha Central's last home duel on January 25th. We will end. It'll be after the duel. So we won't.
Are you guys wearing singlets?
No.
Not a chance.
No chance.
I don't know if there's one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want my belly hanging out.
I got to figure out a shoes thing.
We got plenty of shoes for you at the school. Don't worry.
All right.
Hey, so I do want to give a shout out. I don't know if you ended up meeting him with me Friday night or not, because you had to kind of bounce. But Terry Pack, the new coach down at Southeast Community College, was up at Millard West. Mm-hmm. That's kind of nice. They got a new program that's starting next year, so he's been out.
Stewart. They got Tyler Stewart. I saw that.
And they got the Olberding brothers today. So
it's pretty big time, actually.
One thing that I know that we're kind of getting ready to wrap it up here soon, but I do want to give my thoughts and prayers with the Grand Island right now. They lost a legend, really, at both Grand Island Senior High and Grand Island Northwest, and Blake Fertel. He's one of those kids that when you think about those juggernaut Grand Island teams, I mean, he's one of the
front and center, man.
Pillars. What's that?
He was front and center of what they call it, the Purple Rain.
Yeah.
They were impressive teams back in the late 2000s. And he was right around me and Chuck's age. He was very impressive wrestler, super good kid. So that one's tough.
Yeah. So our prayers go out to Grand Island, Coach Chad Winkle, and anyone affected by this.
Yeah.
Saw those guys on. They were at Millard West on Friday.
Yeah. Yep. And then they went over to Atlantic, Iowa Saturday.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things. If you want to do a kind of a quick rundown on the classes before you got to get out here. I mean, we kind of know Class A, who the top 2 are. Westside had an impressive showing too. They did real well. It was Friday night. Bryan, another one, they had a really good showing on Friday night. But when you get down to Class B, Scotts Bluff's been tough. Bennington's tough. Scott, I can't say enough good about them. I think we can say they're back now.
Hastings, man.
Yeah, Hastings is tough. Waverly, I mean, they were awesome out at EMC duels. So we got to keep an eye on those guys. Down in Class C, David City is going to be a problem.
I feel like they're just juggernaut right now.
Yeah. I mean, I know they're not going to be towards the top of Class C right now. As far as the 1, 2. I got to pull up real quick who 1 and 2 is.
David City's just a wrestling town.
Yeah, and Broken Bow Valentine, up at the top, Newman, But David City has a freshman group that is just insane right now. And sophomores, they're young, so they're going to be around for a while. Coach Thiem has a good problem to have.
They're going to be a wagon. They're going to be a wagon.
Yeah, and there's a kid, I don't know if you got to see him much in football, Mike, but JT Brands out of Oakland Craig.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah. He had a weekend for sure.
Yeah.
I'm built just like him.
Yeah, you wish. But yeah, he's going to be good. And then in Class D, just because we've been talking so much about Aquinas, but Elkhorn Valley is going to be right in the thick of it. They're solid, top to bottom. I think they kind of thin out as you get into the upper weights, but through 170, 182, they got a ranked guy all the way through. They've been tough. They're knocked off a couple Class A guys, a couple Class B guys. They dropped down to D this year from C. They kind of go back and forth every year, but I just want to make sure Elkhorn Valley is someone to keep an eye on.
They're a nice basketball team this year too.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the water up there in Tilden, but they got something going.
Till then.
All right, I'm going to ask an honest question. Where is Tilden?
It is straight west of Norfolk, right before you get into Neely. It's along the Elkhorn River, home of Cape Heart Lumber.
Yeah.
Some of us don't drive 72nd too often.
Yeah, it's a nice little thriving community there, west of Norfolk off Highway 20.
Speaking of Norfolk, that's another team in Class A that's just performing every week.
Yeah, Kettler had a nice win last night over Blazer up at 95.
Yeah.
I would have thought, they lost a big piece to their team, but they just reloaded and just keep chugging right along.
Do we have any update on Jesse Lewis on if he's going to come back?
I haven't heard. Just sounds like an injury, and it's going to be kind of up in the air.
That stinks. So we want him on the mat as soon as possible.
Yeah.
That just makes 120 that much more crazy, too.
It's crazy.
Yeah, 120 is all over the place.
One last thing maybe here, then we'll get out. Just
Tom Brady's going to the Jets?
What? No.
Okay.
0 chance. No. Not happening. No chance. No way.
All right.
No, they've invested in Zach Wilson.
Okay. Your last question?
my silence is enough. What will be the toughest? And maybe it's because it's where be, but what will be the toughest weight you think at Metro? Is it 120? Because
I want one off the radar, but I want to see what Chuck says first because we might be thinking the same thing.
120 is the pretty obvious one. Heavyweight after Terry. That's going to be a toss up too. But I'm going to go with 120 right now, just based off of the top of my head.
170. Grant Muraski, Aiden Robertson, John Blank, kid from Millard North, Brian Petrie. Those three are going to be a battle.
Blair at 182 is probably the guy, right? Abdi, I'm just trying to think of the lower weights.
106, Abdi and Mink, that's going to be a battle.
Yeah. Unless Abdi wrestles like he did last Friday, that dude was a man on a mission.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, watch out for Mink because that dude very rarely gets out of position.
Yeah, and Ekdal Durden, round 7.
Round 26.
113, that's going to be fun. 120 is obviously the bloodbath. Kind of just going through it. 38. Logan Glenn, Tanner Hosick. We saw what Hosick can do last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem. Joel, 52's, Abaruma. He hasn't done much wrestling in the state of Nebraska this year, so that'll be fun. I haven't got to see him since he wrestled last year at state duels, so I'm excited for that. That one will be interesting. 60, Henry Riley, Mikey Myers. That was a close match at Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good, rematch. And then Pierce Johnson's going to be in there. Cam Ralston's going to be in there at 160. That'll be fun. And then
girls' side should be fun too.
Oh yeah.
At another location though.
Yeah, they'll be at Omaha Burke.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to be at Burke. I think they're only one day.
They're on Saturday. Boys are Friday, Saturday. Girls are Saturday.
Or just on Saturday. So girls will be fun. I think right now, West Side kind of the leader runner for girls.
Megan she wrestled last week at Manstedt, right?
Yeah, she's back.
The girls' side, there's West Side looks to be the top team, but then you've got
Papillion La Vista.
You've got Papillion.
Yeah.
Central has been finishing the top 2 in a lot of tournaments. There's a lot of firepower in there. South's got some tough girls.
I'm excited. I think Drew's going to be over at girls for a little bit Saturday.
Yeah, there's going to be some. I plan on making it over there at some point.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And then
I'm probably not gonna make it.
Are you going to be there the whole time, or do you got basketball
Saturday? No, yeah, I'll be there Saturday.
Okay, so you'll be at the finals. Chuck and I on the call in the finals.
Yeah, are you guys? I was gonna say that. Are you calling again? Can I get the epic photo again that I took?
Yes, it's still my Twitter profile picture.
It's a great photo.
It is. The man is a magician on the camera.
If you guys want to watch, once again, streamed on Rockfin this year. NEWrestle will be having it Friday and Saturday, just the boys. We tried to get girls, but trying to run streams from 2 different locations. We're still working on trying to get that figured out.
Yeah,
so.
It's harder. All right, boys. Well, I'll see you. Well, Cody, I might see you tomorrow night in Gretna for a basketball game, unless you.
No, you won't.
West Side.
Yeah. Cool. Is Tristan Alvano playing?
No.
Then Gretna's got a chance. Hey, Zane, Monday, first day of school.
Yeah. Proud of that guy. Awesome.
Yeah, he'll do good things.
Good.
Do you got Chuck? You got any updates on Pie from while we're at it?
I do not right now. I know that he's enjoying basketball right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think too focused on anything as far as recruiting or anything right now. He's just kind of enjoying the process.
Yeah. Well, we got the audience Friday and Sunday. Nebraska has home duels. They're taking on Minnesota on Friday. Sunday, Northwestern. Keep an eye on Northwestern because Max Mayfield from Lincoln East has been wrestling varsity for Northwestern the last couple of weeks.
That's right.
So it could be a nice welcome home for Max on Sunday.
Like that kid. He was good, man. Oof.
Yeah,
and he's a kid too. Well,
he's incredibly smart too.
Yeah. Way smarter than
all 3 of us combined.
At least Chuck.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
All right, boys. Well, we'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, see you this weekend, guys.
Have a great rest of the week. And Chuck, you better bring the heat on the 25th because I'm coming. I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh, I'm bringing the heat, baby.
It's ain't no joke. You actually thought I was.
Do you guys have coaches?
No. I mean, we should probably figure that part out. Yeah. We can trade that.
I need a manager, not a coach.
Chuck will have Storm. We'll give Ranky to Sauter since, Ranky's defending, national champion for what's that, 35 and up?
Yeah, whatever. I want Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South, as my man, as my coach.
All right, man. I'm too much talking about this. I'm tired of messing around with you and you chickening out.
I've never chickened out in my life.
Neck thing, my.
It still hurts a little bit.
All right. We'll see you this weekend. That's episode 5 of Mike Chuck. And thank you for tuning in and being fans of Nebraska wrestling.
Oops.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.